Hello, hello. Long time no see. It's been a couple of days. It's felt like about a week. We've just been focusing on other parts of our life as we should, because we are not simply just self-employed, if you will. So today it'll be a pick a card reading. But it's more of a reading on what Spirit wants you to hear right now. Hold on. The weather's really nice. It's a little colder today. I like that. Normally I wouldn't bring the weather into account, but there are certain aspects of nature that want freedom, and thus they exercise their freedom in various ways. So there is no quiet time. So I'm kind of just going with it. So this is pile one. If you don't already guess that by the fact that we're already pulling cards, there will be more piles added on to this, obviously, because this is pile one. We are now able to make longer videos in general, so they won't get cut off, which you wouldn't really know that they get cut off or not, because we've had to put them together after a certain amount of time. So excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, the burping's still a thing. Alright, still a thing. I make videos every day, but I don't make pick a card readings every day. I don't make card readings every day. That's what we'll say. So the cards that came out, not in the order that they came out, in the order that they want to be spoken about, we have the Nine of Swords, a card of worries, not understanding why things are happening the way that they're happening right now, what Spirit said to me is supposed to be happening, and why is it happening so fast. Swords are the fastest energy in the deck. Things are happening a lot right now in the world, genuinely in your world, very quickly. I feel like you may have been in an energy of not really wanting to change anything and seeing it and not doing anything about it, and so now it's like shit's hitting the fan type of energy, and you're trying to understand why it's happening so fast. This person is biting onto their finger. I'm assuming that there are nervous habits that you may have had when you were either like very adolescent, or like I used to suck my finger like I'm trying not to get into it, because that was a real big thing. I used to suck my finger until I was 15 and a half, I want to say, and then at that point I was like, I am an adult now, I need to stop this. So in this case, I would just do this. That was my favorite finger to go to. It's even kind of flat because of that. I don't know if it's necessarily because of that, but it's noticeably different. Like, it's just shaped different. And I think it's traumatized as well. Like, anytime I even think about how I could do it, because it just doesn't feel right anymore. It's like my fingers look at what you did to me. But like, they look like fingers. But yeah, it's a nervous habit. Something you did when you were a kid, you may have been picking it up again. That might also be overeating, undereating, possibly throwing up. Headaches are not a habit. I feel as if repressing your emotions during this time. Yeah, because we're getting the, okay, that makes more sense now. We got the three of hearts, whatever, the three of swords in reverse, right? And that is a card of heartbreak. In reverse, it would mean that you're getting out of the heartbreak, you've healed something, you're going through that cycle of healing and whatnot. But it wasn't telling me that, excuse me, I kind of have heartburn right now. But I'm very blessed to have heartburn right now. So, yeah, it's basically like you're repressing your built up emotions, and not only is that not working for you, it's like something that you did when you were a kid, and I feel like you learned how to get out of that energy, and now you're doing it again. You're regressing. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not even laughing. I'm not even laughing. I think the thing is that like the way we're saying it is as if it's just a huge discovery. Like, this is exciting for me, but it should be exciting for you. All of these things that you didn't like work on, God is doing it for you. We did those readings, and you may or may not have been a part of said readings, or you may have watched other readings where they said the same thing to you. These are things that you chose not to work on, and that now they're doing stuff back, and it's not even a bad thing. It is not even just a blessing in disguise. Genuinely, I'm getting a lot of good energy off of this. Like, this is a situation that has needed to happen for so long. You are someone who is very wise and powerful. We have the Empress, and we have the Emperor. I'm sorry. We have the Emperor, and then we have the High Priestess. You are very wise. You have all of these attributes to you. You are a very wholesome and well-balanced person. But when it came to the conflict that was in your life, the conflict that just kept going and going and going and going, and I do think that it was what is the word I'm looking for? A manipulative feminine energy. So a distorted feminine energy. I feel like that was a bigger play in your life than in most people's lives. I feel like this is for specific people, but I think primarily in this spread, that energy really caused a lot of conflict in your life. We all have, masculine and feminine energies. However, say there's someone that is a distorted feminine in your life, right? They would bring out so much envy, so much manipulative energy, so much giving and taking and taking and taking, and I'll give and I'm just taking and taking and taking. It's not quite the same as distorted masculine energy, but it's the same concept, just flipped from a woman's perspective, because they go straight for the heart. It's a lot different, although not any less damaging than distorted masculinity. If you are keeping yourself in that presence of that energy as a whole, then that means that you're not taking that time to recognize it within yourself, and you're letting it stay. And so the energy of repressing your feelings and stuff comes from you not feeling like you're worthy enough to even talk about them anymore, because you're letting that energy oppress you. You're repressing your energy and your emotions because you're being oppressed by someone else, and then in turn you are oppressing yourself. Does that make sense? So basically, you cannot be this well-balanced power play right here. So I want to be specific because that's what we're going to be right now. Hold on. Excuse me. Trust me, I go through my own struggles as well, so I'm not laughing at you, but I'm not about to act like I'm sad for any type of reason unless this energy is feeling like it. But I feel like this is something that you knew that was going to happen, but you chose not to do anything about it. And as much as you want someone to coddle you and not say it to your face, you know, that's not my job. And at the same time, I'm very happy for you, so why should I, you know what I mean? But that being said, this is working out. It's called tough love. I feel like that's something that you don't get a lot. You get unaffection. I feel like people give you the opposite of that. It's not constructive in any type of way. This is coming from someone that genuinely loves you in their own way and understands the pain that you had to go through to even be a part of the situation, let alone to let it be like this and then not do anything about it. And this is coming from someone that actively cut everything they needed to cut when they needed to cut it and did not go back unless it was said that we needed to do certain things. However, we still had to get shit handed to us because that was a part of what had to happen. So this is just what has to happen. And I don't say that from a detached point of view. Like, I've had to cry while I was laughing at the same time in my own stuff. So like, this is coming from homie to homie. But I can't really call you a homie if we're not really like friends. You get what I mean? But like, to be hearing this right now, it means you're in a really good place and you should take it as such. So don't think of it as something that someone else would say to you and be like, oh, they're laughing at my pain. No, literally, I'm happy for you because as someone that sees these things happen in the world, and people don't do anything about it, as the person that has been by themselves all this time trying to figure out why everybody's just choosing to be in a certain situation when they could just cut it off, even though I understand because like it's my job to understand. It's very much my path to understand. It's something that I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop because people are not choosing to put themselves first in the ways that they should put themselves first. And by repressing all of this pain that you're going through right now, it's not going to help. Something happened to me earlier this week that, and you know, even more so, it happens often, like not that same thing, but things happen where my first natural instinct is to say whatever. I don't care. Because I have a stoic energy as laughs. I'm a Sagittarius. I try not to use that as an excuse because it's not, but it really is an explanatory way of why things are happening. Also, I have a Scorpio Venus, and I feel like maybe I just have a twisted sense of humor when it comes down to like irony, things that actually matter to me. Like I said, like it's my first instinct is usually to be like, okay, whatever, that's cool. And then I just leave the situation. I'm really good at ghosting people when I need to ghost them. However, learning how to admit that it hurts and admit that I don't like certain things has, yes, cut a lot of people off from me, but I'm a lot more freer with the way that I feel things. And so when these things happen throughout the weeks, but throughout the week specifically, because there were bigger lessons that were like, let's see how you gonna do about this. And I'm like, okay. And I had to make sure to feel. I had to remember to use my emotions. I have to remember to emote. I feel like growing up, I think this might be something that you do too, because that's usually what people that go through a lot of pain do. They either shut down and they don't laugh or smile, or they laugh and smile a lot because they don't want other people to feel that way, or they don't want people to pry and they don't want people to know what's going on and stuff and whatever, right? Not whatever, but you get what I mean. And so I used to cope a lot easier with things by laughing about it or crying when it was time to cry. But like, I didn't really cry throughout my years because I didn't know, like I couldn't my eyes would not make the tears. And so it just felt like I was crying, but like a building pressure, and like it's just not coming out. That's so annoying. And so like, if I gotta cry, I gotta cry. And if I gotta let people see that, I let people see that. But it does depend on the energy of why you're letting them see it. You know, like if you feel like you need to cry and you're by yourself, most of the time I do cry by myself, because that's just how I am. But, you know, I want somebody to cry on. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a grown woman and I like to cry on people's shoulders. But I don't think that I've really had that experience thus far, and that's perfectly fine with me. It has happened once, a couple of times, sporadically throughout my life. I could actually name it. It was two separate people, two totally different situations, but not just those two situations. Like, it's happened before. And it was definitely after my awakening, the more frequent ones. But the one before was like, I got broken up with my first boyfriend, and my best friend let me like cry on her shoulder and like snot. I was at school. That was the whole adolescence thing. But like, it was the first time my heart got broken. Hard. Anyway, so basically, I feel you are just someone that naturally just laughs more than they let other people hear what they have to say. You could be a Libra. Libras, you are really good at playing devil's advocate. There we go. So at the same time, I knew a Libra. I know a Libra specifically, where she's really good at talking to people. She's very charismatic. She goes through a lot of home struggles, and the energy of the situation would carry on her. And so she would be making a joke about her situation. She'd be laughing about her situation, all the while she's not laughing about the situation, like basically talking shit about the situation. We'll say it like that, because it was gossip. But it was gossip as a cry of help. Like, I'm telling you what's going on in my life, right? And everybody's taking it as like, oh, that's just blah, blah, blah. She's talking and stuff. You know, like, they hear what she's saying too. They understand the situation. But like, the more you talk about your situation like that to other people, and then you don't actually address to yourself how much it really, really, really hurts, and understand it, and, you know, then that means you are belittling your own experience. You are basically saying to yourself that you're not important enough to give a fuck about. And so that is why it's not important for anybody else to be listening to what you're saying right now. So you can say whatever you want. And you probably are some type of person to say whatever you want, or you don't say anything at all because you don't like to get too serious. Yeah. So it brings me back to these two cards that have been floating in my hand. We have the Emperor, which is, it's the masculine energy, right? I feel like you do primarily operate in your masculine energy, but this card specifically is saying like your outer appearance, your outer wares, like prosperity in general, is not actually that bad. Like, you're doing pretty daggone well with that. And then we have the High Priestess, which is the spiritual embodiment of the divine feminine. And basically in this way, it's basically being told to me that your outside world and your inside world, they match, right? But to an extent. You like to believe that you are wise because you understand what you know. You see everything. You see a lot of things and you understand it, but you don't do anything about it. I would have the Page of Swords right here. That means primarily like you communicate in several different ways, but you just don't do anything about it, like physically. Like, this is all just air energy right here. Air energy. More air energy. Technically, this could be counted as air energy because it's strictly spiritual, really, but not really, because nothing's ever just not something else. But air energy. Then we have other conflicting interests being shown in the situation. And I feel like you really wanted to have patience. You wanted to have patience in the situation, but you never made a decision to actually put yourself first, so you never got what you wanted. You never got what you wanted and you were confused as to why that was happening to you, because why me, why me, why me? And so it's just keeping you in a cycle of being anxious. So your depression has probably come to a very big boiling point. Right now, the moon is becoming more full. I've noticed that as a Scorpio Venus, when the moon comes up, and the moon rules Cancer, but that's not the point here. It's a water sign, and it really does affect me a lot differently, especially as a divine feminine. At this point, I don't know what I am anymore, but that is not what we're talking about right now, guys. I think that's also a thing too. You're kind of struggling between your masculine and your feminine energies. Like, what are you? Not like, am I a boy or a girl type of feeling, or that might be something, but like you are really trying to figure out your place into this world right now, and it's not coming out the way that normal people would say that it should be coming out. Like, you're really feeling conflicted about who you are. And so these are like hanging in the balance right here. Like your whole existence is hanging in the balance, and you're trying to understand why. And it is because of these other energies that you let tell you that you were worthless, that you let tell you that you are nobody. And then at the end, you're telling yourself that you're nobody by not doing anything about it, by not cutting off that energy, by not making a decision and saying, I am worthy enough to be loved, and I deserve love from everybody that I have in my life. Everybody. There's somebody, uh, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, because they're in my life, so they're a part of the story. If you make yourself a part of the story, you're a part of the story. So my mom, she, I've spoken a little bit about this. She is someone that I don't want to label a narcissist, because I don't want her to stay in that state of mind, if you will. And even as someone that is kind to others, I still try to protect her by not making her completely look bad in a situation that she's kind of making herself look bad. But I also understand her. So another thing is, I really feel like you do love your family, but you don't give yourself enough credit. I love my mom. She has done a lot of things for us, for me, and she is someone that I value as a person in general, someone that I want to bring into my world. However, she is someone that has what is the word? Gaslighting. She is displaying narcissistic tendencies right to my face. And I think it's really confusing to her, because she's never really had to do too much of that in order to keep things in line. But since I kept going towards my true path and purpose, and she's trying to stay the same, it is becoming very apparent to her the differences in how we live our lives, right? I'm sorry, there's gnats, right? Cannot have those on the things that I cannot have them on, specifically Pikachu and my water bottle and me. So if you let them stay, they will come through. So then she called me, and I have already spoken to her probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, because she called me after I had spoken to her about, and I do say spoken to her because she never has anything to say in rebuttal to what I say to her, because she knows that I'm telling the truth. And there's nothing you can say when someone's telling the truth and they're used to hearing the truth from your mouth. So get used to telling the truth. Use this Page of Swords energy, this communication energy, to tell people what they really are about, because they're not getting it from you. So they're assuming that you got all the patience in the world for them. They are just assuming that they can take whatever they want from you, and it's perfectly okay. So I was going to say, this person, I try to stay objective in certain situations. It is difficult when I am actually telling the story. But yes, this person, she called me, and she was like, and this was after she already knew why I was upset. I've and it is how you communicate things. And another thing about the communications, shedding light on the situation, but not trying to hurt them. I am very kind with the way that I say things, but the truth is going to hurt if it's the truth. I have to say what I need to say. I'm not going to be treated any type of way. I don't know why people think that it's okay to do that to anybody, but I really don't know why they think it's okay to do that to me. And so I specifically said what I needed to say. I did not contact her because she did not contact me. And then she tried to let it float away, basically. And that's what they'll do. You'll say something, and then they'll let it just float away like crickets. I didn't say nothing, right? And then after that, they'll try to come back and say and act like it never happened. And so I told her again that I was not going to accept this. And I ignored her phone call. No, I did not ignore her phone call. I answered the phone. I ignored her text messages, and I ignored pictures that she was sending, because she would send pictures to try to make me feel guilty, because I know the energy of what pictures get sent. You always know the energy of someone's actions. So I'll get a picture and I'm like, yeah, that's my beautiful mother, right? Normally I'd be like, oh, that's cute. But my mom likes to, one, fish for compliments, which is understandable. Like I said, my mom is human. We love her very much. She has some growing to do. And at the same time, it was basically like, she does like to say, oh, I guess my kids don't love me anymore, or things like that. Like, a lot of pain that she has, she projects it onto us. And so if that is the case, that means if I'm growing and she's choosing not to, she's going to try to drag me down. And she does try to do so in her own way by certain things that I'm not going to name right here, that I've maybe named in another video. I don't want to put two and two together right now, because I don't know what's too much information and what isn't. But she gave me a call again after I've already told her, and she specifically had the same. She asked me, how's the weather? And I said, weather. I was a lot more closed off to it this time, because I was open enough to answer the phone, and I kept my heart open because I wanted to hear what she had to say, and I didn't want to scare her away with my energy in general. So if she was coming in for an apology, I was ready and open and willing to talk about it, to hear it, whatever. But she had the audacity to be like, how's the weather? Then she was like, you're not funny. I was like, I'm not laughing. And she goes, she's just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, commuting. I was just walking back to my place where I sleep, right? And she was just like, she's like, commuting? She's like, are you walking? She's like, oh, so you're taking but like trying to figure out what I'm really doing. I'm being vague. I'm not letting her know anything. I'm not giving her power over me to try to, because I know anything that I say would be a reason for her to be like, oh, so she's still doing the same thing. Oh, so that thing that she said that she was doing before, she hasn't made it there yet. Anything to spit on my journey, on my path, on my beliefs, that is what I did not give her power to do, right? And then not only that, immediately after that, I was just like, what is this phone call for? I was like, Mother, what is this phone call for? I was just like, the last thing I want to do, I said, the last thing I want to talk to you about is the weather. And she was like, oh, well, excuse me? And I was just like, what did you call for? And she's just like, she's like, well, to check up on you. You haven't answered any of my phone calls or stuff. I was just like, you only called me once, and I told you. Oh no, I was like, and then I told you. And do you remember why? And she's like, no, I have no idea why. It's like, did I even open my mouth beforehand? Did I even say what I needed to say? Did you not hear what I said? Do you not understand why I'm hurting right now? And that's a disrespect on my behalf. Because if it's something like, I don't want you to feel that way, and even though I don't agree with what it is that you're doing, blah, 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 or something like from a parent's point of view, I would be able to hear that. But the fact that to totally negate the fact that I said anything, that I communicated that my feelings are hurt, that I communicated that I wanted support in any type of way, emotional, words, a parent to say something or anything. The fact that I communicated and she chose to not to, I told her, I said, I don't care who you are. I've cut so much out of this, I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. It does not matter who it is in your life. If they're disrespecting you, they get cut for X amount of time. If it's somebody that you know is supposed to be in your life, cut them, and they will have to grow without you. And then they can come back in when they have the audacity to be correct, instead of coming at you with all of this hateful and jealous energy, because they're doing that because they're not happy in their own lives. It doesn't mean that you have to hate them. It doesn't mean that you have to wish ill towards them, but you have some type of tie with the peoples in your life. Yes, the peoples in your life. I think this is more than one. There can be some aunts involved as well. There's family that is just extended that is probably getting into the mix. Excuse me. You cannot allow people to take your light from you, because you are way more valuable than that, and so are they. So why are they trying to take that from you? Let them find their own way. That has nothing to do with you. So that is why this energy of all this anxiety that you're going through right now, all this heartbreak that you're going through right now that you're repressing, you need to let that out. You need to let them know, because all that's going to happen is you're just going to burst it out, and it's not going to come out correctly, and then you'll look like a mess, because you can't tell people your emotions correctly, because you never practiced, you never tried. So take yourself more seriously and work on communicating with the people that hurt your feelings on a daily basis, because people like to go and be like, okay, I'll say something after this, I'll say something after that. And I do the same thing, where I'll be like, the next time they give me a reason to say something, I will. And so not only am I looking for that reason, but like I'm on detect for that reason, because I let something slip. You let it slip again, you look like a fool. You straight up look like a fool, and you're not taking care of yourself. So the next time someone disrespects you, say it the right way, work on it, hone your skills for the people that are, hounding your life the most. And so then you'll be able to take a joke one day. Then you'll be able to laugh and jaw with everybody else too. You won't even have to, hurt that much, because when people say certain things and you feel attacked, it's because you're admitting it to yourself, and you didn't do anything about it. And so everything hurts your feelings. And so then you might be going out and trying to hurt people's feelings too, because your feelings were hurt and you didn't take it into account. I want you to notice how this person got stabbed in the back, right? So what's going to happen when she walks up to anybody else? She's got the sword sticking out of her front. She's going to stab everybody else because she's been stabbed. So you need to take care of yourself. And if you haven't been eating, or you've been eating too much, regulate yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to go on a diet of any type of sort. It really is about doing things that make you happy. Bring passion to your life, dance a little bit more, move your energy around more, drink more water. We're still getting that message, drink more water. And really just like, am I eating because I want to, or am I eating because or does this make me feel like I'm gorging myself? Or does it make me feel like I'm stuffing things in my face right now? Or does it feel like I'm not eating right now because I feel empty and whatnot? Should I at least drink some soup? Get some nutrients in your body. You'll feel a lot more better and more well balanced if you have food in your system. And specifically, yes, talk to the Lord. Talk to him, ask him questions. That is between you and him. But this is your message right now. You are somebody that is meant to be doing something bigger. I don't know what that means for you right now. But at the same time, other people see it before you do. Excuse me. Other people see it before you do, and they try to take that away from you because they're afraid that you're going to leave them. And they're right. They're afraid of not being able to live vicariously through you, or being able to say that they did something for you, made you, I own you, these types of things. You are your own responsibility, and they are their own responsibility. So if you're in a situation because of some things that, maybe I don't have, take into account what those things mean to you, and take into account how you can do that better, because your life is coming apart right now at the seams. And I was looking at this one. Everybody is breaking down what it is that you've worked so hard to build. So you really feel like you're starting over again, and you feel like you don't want to be around anybody anymore because everybody's really betraying you. It feels like you're getting stabbed over and over and over again by different types of people. And like I said, there are certain people in your life, in your everyday life, that are giving you jabs, like giving you insults and telling you certain things and whatnot, and you let that happen. You don't do anything about it. You start by cutting those people off, or you start by correcting those people, or you start by either talking to those people only on a need to, and that's cut. I ain't telling nobody nothing, whatever. Be smarter than you were yesterday. Be the emperor that you believe that you are. Be the high priestess that you believe that you are. You are very wise. Don't let people take that away from you. And you're a very passionate person. Your heart is so good, so wholesome, so loving. And by you saying that you don't want to feel anything is laughing in your face of all of your struggles. We'll take that as a sign. It's basically just, you are just everything. Also, the gnats have been landing on my boobs since I found something out this morning. So interesting. You are somebody that should be cherished. You need to cherish yourself and find people that cherish you. And, as someone who walks alone in the flesh, and I do mean in the flesh, I'm not actually alone. People can't really fathom what it means to have God as their friend. Some people really just can't understand that, but I really do. And it is because not one person in my life is worthy enough to stand next to me today because they didn't act right. And whether or not I believe in them or not, it doesn't matter unless God brings them back to me, because I'm not going back. I'm moving forward, and I will attract whatever it is that I am supposed to attract. And if I keep saying that I'm this and I'm that and I don't do this and that, then I'm nothing. I don't do anything about it. And so then that means I'm going to have to go through whatever you're going through. But since that's not the case, it's different for us. But for you, you didn't do anything about it. It's happening right now. It's happening fast. It's a lot. It's a lot for you to handle, and my heart really does go out to you. But I want you to know that you can fix it. You can make it easier for yourself. Learn from your mistakes. And you can definitely make a lot of extra money off of it too. I don't know, that just came in. So there's that. It shouldn't be your driving force, but if that's something that interests you, you will definitely make more money off of that. So pile 1, this is your reading, and I hope that helped you out. If you need a reading, look in the description box below, and I will see you when I see you. What do you do when the pile is over? Nothing. Just move on. All right, pile 2. Many different sides to a coin. Even if there's 2, there's always more. There's ridges on the side of quarters. And each ridge tells a story. We are multifaceted, multidimensional, multi-purposeful. That's why we have indecision, is because we have so many good things about us. And sometimes that causes us to do things that we don't necessarily admire about ourselves. But you know what? At least we took a stand to be passionate about our lives. Where some people just like to settle when they could have everything. And this pile right here is just giving me energy of you want to have everything. There's no reason for you to do anything else. I'm just getting that energy, and then the Magician is trying to come out. I'm trying to shuffle it though. I'm really not trying to pull it out. All right. So, let's see. Yeah, and then it comes out anyway. I feel like you're the type of person that goes head first into a situation and other people try to hold you back. And you don't really... I feel like you might regret some things. And you didn't think about it beforehand. And so now you're worried. This is giving me celebrity F-boy vibes. I feel like a lot of things are coming back to oh no. Well, it's not a oh no. It's just like I've never got I'm not even going to say I've never got a reading like this before, but I just think it's very interesting because it's happening the way it is. So, now I said F-boy vibes, right? And what is a common F-boy type of thing? You don't have to be an F-boy. You can be an F-girl. Doesn't matter. I try not to really use those types of terminologies, but that's really what I'm getting right now, and that's what's happening. I believe that several people have told you certain news, certain things, and you're wondering if a lot of it can be true or not. Excuse me. Okay. You know what? It's not my job to cut the message, so I'm going to just say it the way it's being said to me. You got a lot of people pregnant. Either that or if you're a female, you've definitely gotten pregnant by someone and you don't know who is the father. And that's kind of an issue right now. So, yeah. So we have each of these swords is really representing to me many different people, different options. And I'm really just getting a you were moving fast type of card. Does Hot Girl Summer ring a bell? I'm sorry. I apologize for giving you that type of energy right now from my face, because this is not something that really I would want to hear from this type of situation. However, I don't know. It's not like, how do I say this? I feel like a lot of people in this situation would feel judged and expect to be judged. This is not coming from a judgmental person. Me personally, I thought Hot Girl Summer really did mean that you were going to be getting in a bikini and looking your best, and that's it. I was a little confused about it when I started hearing certain things about certain things. And I was just like, that's not what I thought it was. I'm kind of glad I missed the summer. But that's neither here nor there. I am getting the Magician card in reverse. I feel like that's something, it's really giving me like something that was grown, something that was birthed. We have the Devil card as well. That it's not like these are, I don't like saying that the Devil card's not a bad card because I'm tired of explaining it. But if you're new, in general, it's not a bad card. It is a card about codependency. I feel like you were living the fast life. You were someone that couldn't be stopped. Excuse me. Remember when I said in the beginning, doing things that you shouldn't really be doing? And, other people you felt like people were trying to stop you and stuff like that. And then we have the King of Wands, and he has kids all around him. I feel like you were someone that you were also getting your money up at the same. Yeah, I'm really just getting a lot of fast energy. Like, I've never had a reading for someone that has been in this situation, so I'm trying to put it in a better way so that you don't really get offended. But like, it's really not my job to cut the message. Like, I'm just saying what I'm hearing. I feel like you're in a situation right now that is not what you wanted whatsoever. I feel like that's why the Magician card is in reverse, and again in this picture, there's also people in the background. And I'm symbolizing that everybody knows as well. What else? We have the High Priestess and the upside down. I feel like you knew. Someone told you, actually. Someone told you that it wasn't a good idea, and it happened anyway. And you didn't listen. You be against your wiser judgment. You did so. And so the Wheel of Fortune. You're all, yeah, these cards are just happening. They're just, I'm trying. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in. It's because like nobody really has a place to judge. That's the thing. That's why I'm like trying to figure out a way to say this, but I'm just saying it, and it's just coming out, and it's coming out. I never would have thought that I wanted to say something so gently, but you already know what happened. This is, I feel like the card readings today are karma. They're dealing out like actual karma, like it's happened, it's happening. Like y'all knew, but then chose not to do anything about it or chose to be the same. And so God is moving the Wheel of Fortune. He's moving your life around. I feel like there are some people that are very disappointed with you, but don't worry about those people. That's not their life. That's perfectly fine. That's not their life. You feel very stuck right now because you don't understand how to do this right now. It's a whole different thing. And since you don't know who is who, like I said, you could be either a F boy or F girl. If you're a F boy, you've gotten multiple women pregnant, and if you're a F girl, you don't know who it is. It could be multiple different men. Yeah, and you don't know what to do about this right now. We're just getting a lot of it's. Ooh, yeah. Oh, there's God again. You feel like this is a setback on your life now because you have to slow down. And you're trying to figure out what move to make next because you have no idea how this could have happened to you because you were so careful. But I don't actually believe that you think you were being careful. I feel like there have been times where you did end up in a situation where you knew wasn't going to be for you, and you chose to be there anyway it was like an instinct that just said do it. Whatever. This is what we're doing right now. And this is how I want to be. And then you got a big head because you got everybody else looking at you like, oh, they want me, they want me. Well, dwelling on it is not gonna help the situation. I feel like abortion is out of the picture. I feel like you want this child or these children. I feel like you are not normally the person to walk away from a situation like that. Like I said, like there's kids in this picture. Like you want these people to be around you because they're a part of your world. They're a part of your life. And can you give me some space? So what we'll do instead is move on to understanding what to do next, because now you have a lot of burdens happening right now. So we're going to work on turning those upside down. This is what we'll do next. That's exactly what we'll do next. So I could tell you, but I would rather the cards also have pictures for you and for us, because this is an experience, right? This is a whole experience. You got told by a tarot reader that she knows you're pregnant. Oh no. You know what? First thing is, laugh about it. You want that baby to be happy. You don't want them to be stressed out like you. You want them to have a good life. You want them to have as much as you want for you. You don't want them to be someone that is afraid of everybody coming at them and being fearful of the world. Move forward. That is easy to say because I'm not in this situation, but I will share with you another story. This is one video, but you get the point. I will share with you this story because it is important as a part of the situation. So moving forward in your world, Knight of Pentacles, right? The people that are involved with you having this child or these children, you're not supposed to be with any one of them. You are not supposed to be with any of these people. It does not matter who the person is that, helped make the child. If you do, like, okay, how do I know? Because I know as a woman, if you're a woman and this is happening to you, you would want to figure out the situation, right? So I'm praying that you do find this person. But when you find this person, don't try to shake them down for everything that they have. Also, I do not advise being a single mom either. I advise you putting that energy into yourself, into loving your child and loving yourself, and so that you can attract your soulmate. Because either way, you are like male or female, you are going to find your forever soulmate. Don't mess that up by trying to be in a relationship with someone that you're not supposed to be with for any type of reason. It does not matter. Do not allow people to siphon off your energy that way, because that's how you got in this situation to begin with. If you wanted to be with them, you would have been with them beforehand. No. Do not try to make anything work with these people, because then that gives your child an unhealthy home, because they're going to see their parents not getting along but still trying to work it out, or not getting along and switching and not getting along and all of this stuff. And even though it's barely happening to you right now, it's all energetic. It's in you. So keep yourself as happy as possible. Even if you got to be stressed out about it, be stressed out and happy. Like, figure that part out for yourself, right? The next part, please pray to the Lord. He is listening and he will help you. Praise God. If you don't, it would probably be a really good time to start right now, especially because of all that's happening in the world right now. You probably know a lot more about it than I do, but this is for a couple of people. You're gonna have a lot of kids in one setting. Probably up to 3. So if that resonates, you'll know. And, start planning for that. This isn't spoiling things, just plan for it. Plan to have a big family, because innately this is changing you for the better, and use it as a superpower. Be like, okay, we got ourselves into this mess. Now let's make it better. Let's make it work for us. Like I said, you've been working on your money, on your coins, on yourself. You're very much about yourself. And now it is time to be about us, and that's a big step, especially because it takes stages to even get there, right? Mentally prepare yourself. Understand yourself a lot more. What did your parents not give you when you were a kid, so that you can understand what to give your kids when they start popping out or coming through and whatnot? Because, like, what I would love from my mom or from my parents in general is love and understanding. Like, they love me, but they don't understand me whatsoever, nor do they really try. They try to put their own values on me. Be the parent that you want to be. Be the parent that you wanted. Be the best that you can be, right? So moving that forward, Be the best that you can be so you can attract your other half, and don't try to make this about you. Don't try to make this just about you. You know what I mean? Like, make it about you, but don't make it just about you. Why are you going to try to, rope somebody in, like, you better do this? And don't be that desperate person. Don't be that desperate person whatsoever. And don't be that cocky person that's like, I'm paying my child. Don't make it big if it ain't big. Just be in your kids' life, give them love and light, and give that to yourself as well. And then the other person that is involved, just give them good energy and leave it at that. Like, be very firm about your boundaries. If you're not good at having boundaries in general, learn what those really are, because sometimes people, and yes, I do mean a lot of people in your specific situations, they don't have boundaries. They don't know how to have them. So create them, understand what yours are, and understand what that means for you, so that you can teach your children to have them as well, and so that they come into this world with a crib already waiting in the bedroom for them, and you're not having to go to your mom's house because they have the crib for you. You're not even moved out yet. Like, it's not about like how much physical yes you can have, and I do mean physical yes, like that means physical anything that physical, I just called it that. It doesn't matter how much physical yes you can have. It matters about how much everything yes you can have. So if you have so much love and so much maturity, emotional maturity, because now you have to be a mother for yourself first, and then you have to be a mother for your kids, and that's male or female. Doesn't matter if you're the dad or the mother, like, it doesn't matter. So don't try to trap people into this, and don't be immature about it, and don't be desperate about it, because God is helping you. So the story that I wanted to share was, this could have happened to me as well, because before I found the light, I fell in love with a couple of people, and I didn't date those people. We were just heavily involved, but they made it clear that they didn't want a relationship. But I also knew it was because of certain things. It wasn't like, oh, I wasn't good enough or anything like that. It really was like they didn't know how to love me the way that I loved them. Also, I didn't know that I fell in love with them. I thought that I had it. And I did. But then I lied to myself, right? So then at some point, I've had to take the Plan B pill a good amount of times. And it wasn't even because of the first person, but it was, there's enough pregnancy scares in my life for me to be able to say certain things like this. And I do mean that, like, not like I had to go and get something done about it really, but like condom slipped, or mainly it was the condom slipping, usually, or like a drop happened, and we're like, and so during that time I had to take a pregnancy test. I've taken one pregnancy test, and that was nerve-wracking. We were good. It was negative, but I prayed on the floor of the bathroom, and I said, Lord, I promise I will not do this again. That was the first time I always say this when I say things, because it's funny, because before I came into the light with the Lord, it's really funny how many times I actually did pray to him when I really needed help in my life, and I was an atheist and didn't believe in him, didn't grow up in the church or anything like that. But I sure did ask him for help for things when I needed that. Shoot. Because they were life-changing big things, and I could not take care of a child. Obviously, things are different now. My mindset is different now, but I can't get over the part of, it's a no for me right now. But like emotionally and spiritually, I'm definitely ready for those things. However, I have plans for my life too, so it's like it's different for me. And the Lord listened to me, and my path was different, so I didn't have to do all that. And I did feel like at some point that I was infertile, like I couldn't have kids. But the more I got closer to the light, it was a lot different for me. And it was because the Lord was protecting me. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. you know? And I also learned from my own mistakes. So, that being said, learn from your mistakes by making this a better life for your child and for you, by loving yourself and getting your own stuff together and not relying on that other parent, but also not trying to make a relationship with them because it's not going to work. You don't want them. They don't want you. Don't get in their life. Don't be a home wrecker. Get what you need to get. And that I do mean, like, basically secure that they're going to be, a supporting parent in the situation. Communication. Grow up. You do have to grow up. You do have to be older now. You do have to be a lot more responsible with what you do in general now. Who you are seen with, how you portray yourself, what comes out of your mouth. You're going to have to be a lot more responsible. And that going forward is really going to help you bring about all the physical anything from it. But people like to forget that emotionally, this is a lot. And it's a lot more than people take time to even think about too much. So don't stress yourself out. Don't the least drama in your life that you can possibly have, the better. And if somebody doesn't want to be a part of the kid's life, then that is perfectly fine. You don't need them. But don't lie to your kid and say that, he don't try to make them look bad. Just be like, they didn't want to be here, but it is not your fault because they missed out on something great. Let your kids know that you love them and be a better parent than your parents were to you. So, we're going to pull one more guidance card. I feel like that was just an expose, and those are really important. I told somebody that they needed to pay attention to what they were going to do because so what they're saying is that you're going to think that this is going to be hectic, but it's really going to be a lot more smooth of a ride than you think it is, than you thought it was going to be. So don't be afraid to keep going forward. We got the same cards. The Magician came out again, but it's in the upright this time. This kid, like this situation, this child, and yes, I did call a kid a situation. So, emotionally, I'm not having kids right now, so praise the Lord. But this whole situation is a situation because it does involve not just you and a child, you and multiple other people. It's a situation. Like, you don't know what's happening right now. I feel like that's the state of mind you're in right now. But you're going to get a lot of clarity on the situation, and it will definitely help you come into yourself. This is not going to hold you back. This is going to be... it's going to be something that's going to catapult you into your future. So this is actually a really good thing, even though you don't necessarily see it right now. Your maternal instincts are going to be coming in, whether you're male or female. We have the Emperor card that came out again. And his foot is on top of the devil. So I really feel like you're definitely going to change a lot because of this situation. You're going to see a lot more clearly. You're going to carry yourself with a lot more grace. And that is good because you'll be able to see it and you'll be able to act on it because now you'll know. It does suck that you did have to, it doesn't suck because a lot of people think of, kids as bundles of joy, and this is coming from someone that if I really wanted them problems, and genuinely, I don't care about sex that much. Yeah, so you will be coming into the lovers. You'll be coming into your soulmate pretty soon. I don't really care about sex enough to be like, I'm sleeping with everybody type of thing. So, but that's a lie with me and my person. I like it a lot. But honestly, like, I wouldn't be able to do it right now because that selfishness that I have for wanting to do things on my own. Like, if I want to just at the drop of the hat go to Aspen and be in a cottage because I want to go on a secret retreat and I just want to tell one person, maybe, like, I ain't got no kids to worry about, Like, so praise the Lord. I'm glad that I'm not in your situation, but it could have very well have been me. It could have very well been someone else that I'm not going to name right now, but it is not. And so I'm very grateful. But that being said, you you got this. You have this. And be emotionally there for yourself so that you can be there emotionally for your kids. And I'm not going to tell you how to raise your children, but if you ever ask in person, I could definitely help you out. I'm already good at that, which is funny, considering what I just said. But it's a lot easier to pay attention to these things before you have kids so that you're ready when you do, because my plan really is to have the perfect family. So we're going to see how that goes. But we're going to see how that goes. I'm already on track. It's all right. Anyway, praise the Lord. If you need any more of a reading and that resonated, there is the description box below. And yeah, now we're moving on to pile 3. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Ow. I think it's funny that both of those readings took over 30 minutes. But you know what? Good. Hello, pile 3. Pile 3, I'm getting a lot of good energy from you right now. I feel like you are definitely coming into your own as a person of influence. You are somebody that people didn't think that you really could do it because you were doing it the way that they wouldn't probably do it. But you're getting a lot of good karma coming your way right about now. A lot of work that you've put into doing what you do right now. That's beautiful. I'm getting a lot of good energy off of you. I'm getting a lot of good cards too, like genuinely. Like we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's basically like you're just waiting for your ships to come in. I'm getting a lot of good loving energy. You're not the type to wait around for other people to come and get you. You are not the best at cutting people off, but you don't give them a chance to even see what you're doing to begin with. These 2 cards I was shuffling, I saw they came out again. So I have the Seven of Pentacles, and what is this, the 8? 8 of Wands? 7 and 8, the progression. I know it's not even the same suit, but they're the progression of numbers. It's basically like you're finally moving from that step. Like you've been waiting forever for this step to happen, and you're just like, can we move on now? Because I feel like you've been working really hard for a long time, and people were just kind of telling you, like, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Like this little crow right here is basically, he's like, hey, so I see that you're working really hard, but we're here to drop off a letter that says you need to fuck off because we're tired of seeing you look like this. Okay, thanks, bye. Like, I really feel like that's what it is. Like, people sticking their nose in your affairs when they should be, like, paying attention to themselves. I feel like, also, this is a card of saying specifically, like, you are now able to pick what you need to, like, ships came in and all that stuff. Like, you have everything that you need. But I feel like this is someone else trying to hurt what it is that you've been trying to grow. I feel like other people have been really trying to get in your stuff. Okay. So that was the okay. Yeah. So we have the King of Swords. So like I said, you're not really good at cutting people off, but you're really good at actually ghosting people. I feel like this card is just telling me, like, okay, I'm just not even going to be around you anymore. I don't even care. Like, that's not even cutting people off. Because cutting people off really means that you're telling them to their faces that, like, they need to, like, it's done. And it could come in different forms. But I feel like your energy specifically is, like, I don't want to deal with this person, so I'm just not going to be around them. And thus that person keeps coming around. And you're just like, I don't even know how they found me. Bye. and like you don't tell them anything. Like you have this little person right here just holding on to this earth, like he's hiding it, but he's not really hiding it, but he's like guarding it. He's literally like, you can't have any of what it is that, like, this is my world. I'm doing this for me. What are you, like, why are you even here? Like, your energy said, oh, okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have the Ace of Swords, which the Ace of Swords was at the bottom of the deck to begin with. And yeah, this is the Eight of Cups. And specifically what I said about you just leaving the situation. Like, you don't tell them that you're going to leave the situation. You just do. And their energy follows you around because you keep them attached to your energy strings. For me, it's okay for me to do that because when I cut somebody off and I ghost, like I do it either way, whatever's more fitting. Like if I need to ghost them, I ghost them. If I don't want to talk to them and I happen to just be talking to them and I don't want to talk to them, then I don't talk to them. You know what I mean? I don't keep them on my strings whatsoever. So like if you are experiencing somebody like popping up and you don't like that they're trying to get into your energy because they're trying to like hurt your growth, you need to make sure to say something and actually cut it off because your energy is specifically saying that you're too afraid to do that. So you're going to get more clarity around that situation and you will get rewarded heavily because you did it. So make sure that this person is not around you anymore. And if it is someone that you feel isn't supposed to be around you to begin with, then don't talk to them. Queen of Swords. Yeah. So this one specifically, I feel like is the card of saying, like, you do need to actually tell them that you don't want to talk to them anymore if you don't want to talk to them anymore. I feel like you're afraid of them and their energy. And you're afraid of people coming all at you at once. I feel like you might be working on something really big. We're getting a lot of communication energy, specifically because I feel like you spend a lot of time really doing stuff on your own. But these people are in your life. Yeah, you've been working really hard. It's another 8. Another 8 energy. And this one is specifically about working really, really hard. I feel like you do a lot of midnight hours. Yeah, energy of indecision. You don't make a choice if you choose to keep these people in your life because they're taking from you. It's one thing if you've said it before and they're still there. That's different. Just let that fall away naturally. But if it's someone that you really haven't said anything to and they still feel the need to be present in your world, I'm trying not to pull out every card because I don't want the reading to be longer than it needs to, especially because this is telling me, like, it's kind of a repeat message over and over again, because we have as we pull out every card, because we have the 10 of Wands in reverse, setting the burdens down, letting these people go that don't care about you. Their lies, they are really trying to take from you. This card wasn't even the card that I was looking at, which is funny. We're just gonna leave it at that. The Hermit card in reverse. I feel like you do need to be by yourself. Those people are not for you. They don't have your best interests at heart. They're not people to be kept in the future. I don't care if it's someone in your family. Like, family can be cut off for good too. Stop it. And then we have the Devil card. These people are trying to siphon off of your energy in general. Wheel of Fortune, they see that you have everything that they wish that they had they put the work in, and they see it coming to fruition for you. And then we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And specifically, it is because people keep trying to take things from you. You felt like you had to keep such a tight hold on it. And then we have the Hierophant in reverse. You've been praying to God. Yeah, we have a church right here in the Five of Pentacles in reverse. We have a church right here. You've been praying to God. You've been asking him for help on your endeavors. Ace of Wands, another ace card. You're very loving towards these people as well. You don't want to hurt their feelings, but like, if you have to, you have to. There's somebody in my situation that I've had to break his heart a lot of times just by telling him that we're never going to be together. And it is things like that. Like, it's anybody that is taking off of your energy for any type of reason. So pay attention to that. And, you know, this person is a friend. He's someone who's definitely a friend, but he's definitely someone that I can't spend time with right now because my energy is not, we're not going to be, there's nothing to talk about anymore. You'll notice with these people, there's nothing to talk about. And so we just don't. And so I don't even smoke with him anymore. I don't really talk to him. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with him. It just means that it's better for us right now to keep that cut. And so I specifically asked the Lord, I was just like, I've already said to him, you know, that I'm not interested. And I've also said it in multiple different ways. I've broken it down for him as well. The boy just has, you know, resilience. He is, you know, and I gotta admire that resilience. And yeah, speaking of my story, yeah, he has resilience, and he is someone that actually shoots his shot. And, you know, it's very charming. I think you kind of do like the attention that, you know, it's just like, oh, y'all are so worried about what it is that we're doing right now, and, you know, like, whatever, and blah blah blah, like, where's blah blah blah, oh, she's doing blah 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 blah, and whatnot. Like, it's flattering, but at the same time, that is a standstill. Like, you're not getting anything out of that. There's a point where things stop being good for you. And so, like I said, with this person, I don't want to be hit on every single time that I speak to this person. And so I've also said that. And it's just like, at some point, you really do realize that you don't want to talk to these people about these things anymore, and you have to demonstrate by not being around them. So you ghost people, but you don't tell them. So that's the opposite, right? I tell people, and then I also ghost them. And it depends on what situation, but this one is kind of like the most recent situation. Because I had to ask the Lord, I was just like, just cut it off for me, because I did my part. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, I did my part. Like, you know, praise the Lord. And he did. He's doing his thing. So he will do his thing for you as well, but you do need to open your mouth. You need to say something. Like, you definitely need to say that you don't want to be around them. Bye. Like, you know? So if that resonated for you, let me pull one more card for you. I don't know why. We're just shits and giggles, right? The Emperor. You have so much more than these people think that you do. You're a very smart person. I wanted to flip that around, but it got difficult. And you have happy family coming towards you. You're going to be surrounded by people that really want to be around you. These people just ain't it. And that's perfectly fine, right? There's no reason for anybody to be around anybody if they don't want to be. So take good care of yourself. Keep working really hard. You're getting exactly what you want, what you've been working for, what you've been waiting for. You're doing great. Keep doing it for the right reasons. Say something. If you don't like something, make sure you say something about it, and make sure that, you know, then you ghost them. Follow through on your actions. You're really good at following through on your actions, not enough with the communication part. So, and going forward in life, you can't be like that. You have to have that balance, you know. So keep finding that balance and applying it so that you don't have these problems in the future. And yeah, if that resonated for you, I'm really glad, and I hope that helped out a lot. And if you feel like you need more guidance, look down in the description box below. And thank you very much for being here today, Pile 3.